How is income from YouTube like?
I started YouTube was not for money, it was morely for passion. I love teaching. But now, if I want to start a new channel with less income, I might not think about it.
What are some of the key trends that you think are going to shape the world of software development in the country?
AI. It's changing every technology. What's going to happen in next 2 years? Even the founders who are working on AI, they have no idea.
Have you ever thought about using a platform like HeyGens?
We tried. Only one thing stopping us: money.
Will the role of, say, SDEs and SDE2s, will that be replaced by AI in organizations and corporates anytime soon?
One technology which suddenly came in between, Devin AI, they published a video by saying it will replace the developer completely. If that works, I think it can replace.
What's your take on the integration of ChatGPT in educational content?
It will make your work very, very easy. And that easy is not good. At the start of your career, when you are learning things, you should struggle. If you're not struggling, that means you're not learning.
What skills should developers focus on to thrive in this era, which is the post-Gen AI era?
Quite a few of you might not know Navin Reddy yet, but by the end of this podcast, you'll see why he's one of the most impactful voices in tech education in the country. With over 2 million subscribers on his YouTube channel, Telusko, he's simplified programming for millions out there. A TEDx speaker and a corporate trainer too, Navin is shaping the future of learning in tech. Let's uncover the man behind this incredible journey. And guys, watch the podcast till the very end to find out the fascinating but equally scary possibility of humanoids and robots in people's houses, something that might happen in 2025 itself.
Navin, a very, very good morning, a very warm welcome here at the hot seat by AIM Media House. It is 9:34, proper good morning time. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good. Korak, first of all, thanks for inviting here. And amazing office, first of all. The first thing I was bit like, okay, I have to get up in the morning, come to the office space. I normally avoid office spaces. I love that cozy place at my home or my small office. But when I came here, amazing place. And yeah, excited for the podcast.
We are absolutely glad to have you here. So, Naveen, there is so much that we want to talk about today, your content creation journey, how it started, so much as to what the developer community can expect in the coming few years, in the coming few months itself. But first of all, we would like to get to know Naveen, the person, a little bit. So, if you can tell us a little bit about how the childhood was like, where that was, and how that led to the career getting started.
So I'm from Mumbai, born, brought up there. Last 2 years, I'm in Bangalore. I did my schooling, college, everything in Mumbai. I'm basically Teluguite. I can manage Telugu, but most of it I speak Hindi because all my friends are from North India in Mumbai itself. So I speak more Hindi, more Marathi. I did my schooling there, as I mentioned, college degree. I did in BSc in IT. Engineering, I got the seat, but the fees was very high. So I opted for the cheaper one. Teaches the same thing, but in a less cost. So I did BSc IT, then MSc IT. There's a point in my life I thought I'll be a teacher. I did MSc IT, then I realized no, money is good in corporate. So I moved to corporate and then started YouTube. But again, I think we'll talk about more about YouTube separately.
At what point of time did college get over and work start? Which year was that?
2010, I completed my graduation. When I was doing masters, I was simultaneously doing job as well. So 2010, yeah, that's when I started.
So 2010 when you started working.
Yes.
So that is a time when it is 5G to dur ki baat, it is long before the tech boom happened, long before the content creation boom happened.
Right.
So within how many years of your work X did you think that content creation is something that I can, delve into?
It was never a plan to get into content. Initially, one of my friend and also my mentor was saying, okay, you can write articles. You can write research papers. When I started MSc, at that point, my seniors used to say, okay, you can write research papers and then this will give you a good exposure. I tried writing, but I realized I'm not a good writer. Maybe it's not exciting as it feels for everyone else. Then in my college, we had this opportunity where I can train my juniors. So being an MSc candidate, I can train BSc people. So I went to one of the labs. So basically, I was a lab assistant, or maybe I can say teacher assistants. So one classroom will have 60 students. when they get into lab, they have to break into two labs, 30 and 30. And then the main teacher used to go in one lab. We used to go in another lab as MSc student. And then there was a example of computer graphics where you have to write a lot of lines of code just to draw one line. So whatever animation you see on the screen is because of those C programming. And then in my BSc, we did some experiment with the algorithms where you can move a car, where you can fly the kite. And these people were just drawing the line with 10 lines of code. So after the example, they were like, hey, this is so boring. I was like, no, this is not boring. I will show you something. Wait. And I did something, and then I showed them how do you move a car. And they were so fascinated. They were like, this is amazing. We want to do this in a classroom. But I say this is not a part of a curriculum, but yeah, you can explore this more. And then I went out of lab. It was a lunchtime. So these two labs, basically, they started communicating in the lunch area. They were like, Navin ne ye dikhaya, wo dikhaya. And then these people who are not in my lab, they went to the teacher by saying, why don't we learn all these concepts? Then teacher went to principal. Principal said, why you're teaching extra stuff? If you want to teach, tell us first. Let's discuss. And then we can talk to teachers. They will also show it. There will not be any, everyone will be on the same page. I was like, okay, that sounds a good idea. I went home and realized ideas comes at any time. I can't simply, example, let's say I'm in a lab now. Talk about something. I can't go back to teacher by saying
To get permission.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then it was around 8 p.m. on that same day, 2011. My mom was watching some Saas Bahu serial.
I'm not surprised.
So we had
Balika Vadhu maybe. 2011, 8
Possible.
p.m. Balika Vadhu.
Possible. If it is in Colors TV, yeah, possible. So we had a same room. We had one room where the bed was there, the TV was there. My mom was watching TV. And then my brother was doing something. I was on the bed with my laptop. I wanted to record a video. So what if someone is asking me a question? I don't have to teach now. I can simply say, watch the video. So that's the first time I recorded my first video. Screen recording. I was very new to all this recording stuff. I had no idea how much laptop mic will pick up my voice or the noise of the TV. If it is Big Boss at that point, I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's how I started. I recorded the video, uploaded on YouTube. It was a long process at that time. Now it's so easy. You click on the upload button and push. So things were but difficult at that time. Internet was very slow.
Exactly.
But when I did that, my first video was live on YouTube. I went to college next day, and the same lab. In fact, it was the different classroom, but then I was in the same lab. And these people like, show us that. I was like, no, I can't. But you can go to that video.
Smart. Get the views as well.
Yeah. So that's how it started. People loved it. I got a lot of good comments, not in the comments, but in general in the college.
So at what point of time did you quit a full-time job and completely get into YouTube?
So it happened partially 2013 when I left my first job and doing corporate training. 2016, there was a point where it was 50-50, focusing 50% on the YouTube, 50% on trainings. And 2018 was a final thing where I was like, okay, YouTube is working. I can't do corporate and YouTube at the same time. So 2018 was a point.
Okay, 2018 is when you're saying was the point of completely getting into YouTube. It started booming. That's a 5-year period.
Yeah.
Sensitive question. Wasn't income, money a problem in those 5-year period?
It was. I started YouTube was not for money. It was morely for passion. I love teaching. I was like, why to stay confined for 30 people? Why can't I teach the entire world? YouTube had this amazing tagline way back, broadcast yourself. So I used to like, okay, let me broadcast my talent and see if I can help people. Money was not a concern because I'm coming from a very poor family. So like, even if you get 10,000 rupees per month from YouTube, I was very happy. So
this is a great angle to it, because a lot of people might say I come from a very poor family, so money is a concern. But there is that logic to it also, that I come from a very poor family, so money is not a concern.
But now, if I want to start a new channel with less income, I might not think about it.
That sounds amazing. For those who aren't aware, I mean, you have an incredible followership, you have an incredible viewership. But still, for those who aren't aware, I want to ask you, what is Telusko and what does it do?
Okay, so basically the idea of Telusko was build a gap. So what you learn in college is a bit different and what is happening in the industry. I realized that when I started working. I was like, nothing here, what we have learned in college. we learn the foundation. So what I understood from the college point of view is you can't upgrade yourself. The college syllabus cannot be upgraded every year as per the industry. Industry is moving very fast. But what they give you is foundation. And then there's a gap from the foundation to the industry. So from start, my idea was just keep building the gap. I started teaching Java, then Python, then blockchain, different technologies, and currently exploring AI because most of the colleges are teaching AI, but again, not up to the mark of what industry is needed. So that's how we explored all the technologies which is required to build that gap. The name Telusko is interesting is because when in 2014, when I restarted the channel, initially it was different channel. Then we restarted the new channel in 2014. The name was Navin Skills. So I wanted to have my name and then skills. But again, I was thinking, what if in future I want to expand it? What if I want to get more YouTubers or more trainers on the platform? It will be stuck with my name. I don't want to do that. I want to have a separate name so that in case if I want to sell my company. Long vision, but yeah, I was thinking about it. And then I was thinking some unique term which can be easily tagged in the SEO so that if someone searches for that name, only this website should pop up.
Right.
Normally people go with English terms. But again, there's a lot of, example, if I say learn with Navin. So if you say learn with, there are a lot of channels, a lot of websites with the same name. Then I understood that a lot of companies, they use Greek terms, Italian terms for their brand name. Then I thought I'm Telugu. Let me use some Telugu word. Then I was thinking what else I can do. Then there's a word called Telusko in Telugu, which means get to know. And then, but it was very big, Telusko, so I just kept it short, like we say in Mumbai Hindi or the Gauti language, Telusko. So that's what we picked up. I was a bit hesitant at the start, but my family, my wife was like, okay, let's try. Didn't work, we'll change it. And yeah, it got stuck. Now, when I go on street, they don't call me Navin. Everyone's like, Telusko, right? So
Wow.
like, that feels good.
Chalo, now the story is much different. There was that one motivating point that you mentioned when one comment came that I got a job because of it.
Right.
But at which point of time did you feel that, okay, this is turning into something big?
Good point. 2016, Harsh is here. So we were together. He was my second editor. So we were sitting at my home. He used to come around 10 o'clock, but one day he came early and I got up. I was watching news. And then I got to know that Google, so basically for Android development, we have two different languages. So you can use Java for development, you can use Kotlin. But Java was the primary language, and I teach Java. So a lot of people watch my content for Android development as well. But they announced that Kotlin now will also be the primary language for Android. And I was like, okay, I know Kotlin a little bit. I've seen the syntax. They have made it a primary language. That means a lot of people will come to YouTube to search about Kotlin. So 10 a.m. we started. 1 p.m. we uploaded our first video on Kotlin.
It was shot, edited, and uploaded at one.
Yes.
Wow.
The first video,
Mhm.
the introduction of Kotlin.
Mhm.
In 1 week, we completed the entire series. So channel was here, like we were struggling, and then it was somewhere. And then we realized people want to learn. We just have to give good content. And I think, I'm not sure, I'm the first Indian YouTuber to put Kotlin content at that point. Because we had a lot of Kotlin content, but from foreign YouTubers. Because in US, they always run ahead of India in terms of technology. So if they are learning something, we will learn that in next 1 year. So Kotlin was that.
How big is the size of the team now?
It's 15, including me, I think. He manages, so yeah, 15, I think.
15 to 30. And is everybody working out of Bangalore itself?
We have 4 working from office and everyone else is remote.
Right. A lot of them must be editors.
No, we have 2 editors.
Oh, just 2 editors?
Yes, because I'm the only one who is making primary content now. We got other teachers who is making platform content only for the platform, not for the YouTube. So yeah, so we need only 2.
Great. 30 people team going incredibly well right now.
Mm.
But I want to ask you, when you all started off, that 2014 to 15 to 16 period,
Yeah.
what were some of the biggest challenges that were coming across?
First, the office space. You know, in Mumbai, it's very costly.
Any space in Mumbai is very costly.
True. And plus, whatever office space we used to get, it was a closed room, 10 by 10. And for a studio setup, you need a big space. And that's what we realized in coming to Bangalore. Like, we have space here. Not in city, but yeah, where we stay, we have a huge space.
Which area is that?
Hoskote.
Telusko.
Yeah. So again, the first problem was the space issue. So whatever office we took outside in Mumbai, all small spaces. So we used to have all the light crunches. Plus, I have two big advantages with me. I wear glasses and I don't have hair. So for the lights, the DOP will be agreeing with me. People who wear specs, light adjustment is very crucial.
Specs, though, I know that.
Yeah, and with the no hair, you have to make sure that there is no lights directly on your head.
Huh, guys? Important, huh?
Yeah.
Acha, he's not. It's important. Yeah. Okay.
So all the office space and studio setup was a big challenge for me. What worked well for me was the content. I'm a technical person. I love teaching. So I was having a good hold on both of this. Struggling part is all the setup. Machines, editing machines are very costly. At this point, people are using high-end graphic softwares like Premiere Pro and Final Cut. We used to use Camtasia. I don't know if you know about it.
I mean,
Educational content uses Camtasia.
when I started working, every editor had started working on FCP by then. Yeah.
Right. So Camtasia is a good software. The only problem is it's good for the educational content. But if you want to like filmmaking, podcast editing, it's not that good. So I was the expert in Camtasia in my office. Whoever joins, I should teach them. These are you can use Camtasia. So that was one of the challenge, getting the team, editors. Now I'm lucky to get two editors who work in-house and they're happy. It's difficult to keep the editors happy. They want a lot of new things. So those are the challenges, people and setup.
You know, with over 2 million subscribers on your channels, what role now does technology like analytics play in optimizing your strategy? Do you think about that? Do you look at the data and then plan your content?
There was a time when you run behind the numbers, you think about it. So when we reached around 800,000 subscribers before touching 1 million, I was like, we want to touch 1 million. How do we do it? So now it's time to put some good content. I mean, of course, we make good content, but something which attracts people. So then we thought about, okay, let me make this series. One of them was Python. So I'm not a Python person. I'm not sure how many, if you're interested in languages, programming languages, but there are a lot of programming languages in the world. Famous ones are Java, Python.
We definitely are. Our viewers very much are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Python is not my forte. I was like Java boy. In fact, my username, one of the email ID which we use is Java boy Navin. So I'm that Java fan. But 2018, I wanted to move to blockchain because everyone's talking about Bitcoin and stuff. Everyone talking about cryptocurrencies. But no one was talking about the underlying technology behind it. And I'm more interested in the underlying technology. What is happening behind the scene? I wanted to get into blockchain. I knew it will give me good views, but I wanted good amount of time for preparation. I don't want to learn something and make a video out of it. I will not do justice on it. So I wanted some good time, let's say 6 months, prepare well, then make the content. But meanwhile, what should I do? So I went live on YouTube, just talking to my audience, and they were like, teach Python. I was like, no, I don't want to. And suddenly there was a bombardment. Maybe 10 or 12 people came together in one room and they're like, Python. I was like, okay, let me try. I know many languages. How difficult Python could be? I thought I will learn that in 2 weeks. I did that. I learned Python in 2 weeks. The challenge was making content. I thought I can record it in 1 month. I will finish it, then move to blockchain. But then I did some experiment with Python. Whatever video I made, a lot of animations, making it simple so that even a school kid can learn it. This is White Hat Junior, before the White Hat Junior. Teach coding to the students and school kids.
Yes.
So before that, I was thinking about, can you teach to students? I was like, can we make a video on it? So all the Python videos are very basic. Anyone can learn it. And that's how it shoot. And we crossed 1 million very fast. So whenever you have this target for these numbers, that's where I think about analytics. Apart from it, my main focus is, what do I like? What do I want to talk about? When AI was getting famous in 2022, when ChatGPT came up, everyone was like, okay, AI. I wanted to make a content because it will give you a lot of views. But again, I was not well prepared. I was like, okay, let me take my time. Because if you see a lot of content on AI, people talk about it, they just give some hype words and then they move away from it. Then again, the viewers will think, okay, there are a lot of things in it. Let me stay away from it. So that's why when you use jargons, that's what happens. I wanted to make it simple. I'm taking my time, enough time, maybe next 2 years, and make the content. So when I want to get the numbers, yeah, that's when you think about analytics. Otherwise, just teach what you like.
I want to ask you, your work started such a long time back, a decade and a half back, you started working. Technology has constantly kept changing and evolving. Two
True.
years back, ChatGPT debuted. The birthday
Yeah.
happened just a few days back itself.
Right.
And AI, the world of AI, the industry of AI is changing like by the fortnight. How much time did you take to prepare yourself, to train yourself in AI and the world of ChatGPT, and then you started making content? How much time did that take?
It depends. Sometimes it takes weeks. Sometimes it take months. Uh, with me, what happened with AI is everyone talks about Gen AI now. That's a new thing. I can directly make content on Gen AI. I can learn that in 1 week and start making content. And parallelly, I can learn and make videos. But when I was doing that, I realized the foundation of AI is very important, like machine learning, then deep learning. All those concepts are important. Now, if I start from that, it will take 1 year for me to prepare and then start making the videos. And that's what I'm doing now. Because a lot of people are talking about Gen AI. Let's talk about foundations. So again, the same thing I'm repeating with Bitcoin. So when people are talking about Bitcoins, Ethereum, let me talk about the technology underlying. But in case if it's not AI, if it is, let's say, a new framework in Java, 2 weeks and start making content. So not just AI, a lot of other technologies are also evolving. People are not talking about it.
Tell us about some of those.
One of them is cloud. So it was a boom, but suddenly because of AI, a lot of people are not talking about it. So it's all, catching the technologies. So we had blockchain. So a lot of people think blockchain is going down. It's still there. It's just that AI came up. So whenever someone wants to talk about it, they first prefer talking about AI, then talking about blockchain. And if you get into industry as a student, or maybe as a newbie, let's say you have done your college, you completed your college, you got 2 years of experience, what technology you will choose? Now, when they want to explore, they only think about AI because everyone talks about AI. And then when they go for the job, the company is not asking for AI, they're asking for other technologies. And maybe they're asking for AI for 5 people. And now we have 100 candidates for AI and few for the niche technologies. Like say we got blockchain, maybe we got Spring Boot, maybe we got cloud, or maybe DevOps. So people are not preparing for that. Everyone is moving towards AI. And maybe that's a good thing also. But the bad thing is they're not focusing on the technologies.
What's your take on the integration of ChatGPT in educational content?
Okay, maybe controversial, but a lot of people do talk about it should be integrated. Even I used to support it. The drawback with AI in education is it will make your work very, very easy. And that easy is not good. At the start of your career, when you are learning things, you should struggle. If you're not struggling, that means you're not learning. And I normally do that in my videos as well. Intentionally, when I teach code, I make mistakes,
Okay.
errors.
Why?
Because when you see the error, then your sixth sense comes up and you're like, how do we solve the error? And then when you, in the process of solving the error, you understand what is happening behind the scene. Most of us, we follow the good path. Example, let's say if I'm teaching in college now, and I want to talk about, let's say, how do we run this algorithm? I will follow the good path, the perfect path. Do this, do this, do this, it will work. And then at the end, everyone knows how it works. What they see, they know. But what if they are building a software and now they are stuck? Now, since they have seen all the happy paths, they have not seen the sad path or things which breaks. So when it breaks, you learn things. With the help of ChatGPT, what is happening is it will not break the code. Example, let's say if you integrate the AI tool with the editor you have, it will give you the perfect code, or maybe the code which works. And now you are happy, it works. But what if you get stuck and you have a deadline for next week? Now you don't know how to solve bugs and you'll be stuck. So at the education level, let them struggle. Once they start developing actual projects, then give them some time. How do we use AI tools? And then start from there.
I want to ask you because a huge part of your viewership are the developer community as well.
Yes.
A huge part of our viewers are also developers, budding
Yes.
developers. I want to ask you, will the role of, say, SDEs and SDE2s, will that be replaced by AI in organizations and corporates anytime soon?
I hope not. But technically, if you also see, AI is not doing everything which a developers can do. They are promising. In fact, there was when ChatGPT came, people were like, okay, we got here. In few years, we'll get somewhere. And no one knows that what is that few years. It can be 2 years, it can be 10 years or 20 years. No one knows the exact path. It all depends upon the number of funding the companies are getting so that they can boost about it. But one technology which suddenly came in between, Devin AI, and they published a video by saying it will replace the developer completely. You just say what you want and it will give you the working software. The problem is it was only the video. We don't have access to it even to test it, and they are saying that they will do it. But if that works, I think it can replace 1 or 2%. So let's say you have a team of 10 and you're working on one project. With the help of AI, now you need only 5 or 6. So those 4 are losing the job. On the other hand, now if you see the company output, so if they don't want to fire someone, if they have 10 people, they are working on one project, now they can work on 2 projects at the same time with those 10. So instead of firing people, maybe the speed of the software development will go up. So it's not a replacement. Maybe you just got an assistant with you who will help you to speed up your process. Now you have to take the knife and cut the onions. Now you have someone who will do it for you. You just have to cook.
There are platforms like Shopify and Wix now, which are evolving every day.
Right.
So, how can engineers and developers differentiate themselves? Will this question actually start to come in? That should I even learn Angular, JS, Node? Should I even learn those languages, or will it just be prompts now?
2 years ago, I think Telusko website, the official Telusko website, which is a tech company where we talk technologies, we have used WordPress to build the website. Reason, we were not having a lot of things on our website. So we have 2 websites. One is the main domain, and second is the courses. Now the courses is very tech savvy because that's where we have our courses. That's where we have our users who will log in, who will watch the video, they will pay for the course. Everything is there. On the main website, it's very simple. What is Telusko? What we do? Who is Navin Reddy? What are the courses we offer? That's it. So even if you make that in Java, and if you want to run that on AWS, we have to pay around 5,000 rupees per month as a bill. Why we are doing that? We just want to display some information. Let's use WordPress. So when you want to build something very simple, then you can use any platform. Like we have all these no-code platforms, which we say no-code or low-code. Anyone can do that. But if you go to the more specialized stuff, let's say banking application, healthcare industry, supply chain, this is where you can't use them. It's because they will provide you the platform. They will give you everything. But the moment you want to customize something, you're stuck. And that's why you have to write a code. And which code you have to write, which code you have to change, the code written by them. So when you want to do something special, you have to write code. This works only for the simple stuff. Maybe even if you want to make an e-commerce website, this will help you because every e-commerce website is almost same. You got the categories, you got the product backlog, you got the shopping cart, you got checkout, almost same procedure. But let's say if you talk about healthcare industry or banking industry, every bank have their own way of doing things, their own process. So you can't simply do that with that. And especially the security part.
I was just going to get to that. For something like banking, internet banking, the security levels have to be much
better.
Precise.
Yes. And same goes for the healthcare. Same goes for your personal information. In India, we don't care about privacy. We should.
We should.
But in US especially, they are very concerned about, or UK for that matter, we got GDPR. They are very concerned about their personal information, where it is going. In India, we don't think about it. But if you see the amount of personal data we have in India is huge. And it's openly roaming everywhere. We see those news coming up. This number of Aadhaar card information got leaked or voters ID information got leaked. And those information systems are not secure. Maybe they are using these platforms. So we need to secure them. Even for healthcare, your healthcare records. Example, nowadays I'm doing all those, my blood test or using online app. They give me reports. I'm not sure who has access to my reports. Only me? Because it's very personal to me. If I have something, only I should know it. Not a company, insurance company who will call me by saying, hey, you are on the borderline of this disease. Why don't you get the insurance? So this is very critical. And building those systems need specific skills and technology and programming.
Naveen, what are some of the key trends that you think are going to shape the world of software development in the country?
AI. It's changing every technology. See, what's going to happen in next 2 years, even the founders who are working on AI, they have no idea. Because-
Jensen Hong even said that.
Yeah,
Jensen Hong said that I have no future plan.
right,
The plan that we have at NVIDIA is today.
right, right. Maybe they can plan for 2 months, not more than that. It's because every product is dependent. Example, let's say Microsoft Azure. It's a cloud platform from Microsoft. If I'm a developer, of course, I will use Azure for deployment. For an example, Azure uses AI. Now they are using OpenAI. Azure has no idea what OpenAI is doing now. So if Azure is promising this is what you will get in next 2 months, is because OpenAI has already done it. So they are using it. But what Azure AI will have in future, even they don't have an idea. Whatever OpenAI will give them, they will use it. So all these are different, bubbles created in AI. And they are all using each other. In fact, Apple is using OpenAI. So how much Apple knows about OpenAI? No one knows, right? So everyone is doing individually. Yeah, there will be a point where we will get some regulations, we will get some standards, then you can predict what is going to happen. Everyone is like in a race now. In race, what they are going to do, they don't know. Are they protecting your data? No one knows. Most of the banks, the bank which I work with, they don't use AI tools. It's because they have no idea how those information are getting processed, or maybe they are getting trained on this data for the new AI feature. So everyone is in their own bubble, their own silos. In future, we might have standards or a regulation, then we can predict what is going to happen. But AI is changing every field.
You mentioned AI is changing every field. What skills should developers focus on to thrive in this era, which is the post-Gen AI era?
Start using AI tools. Example, if you're a developer, explore all the AI tools. Like
which ones could be most helpful for them?
Copilot. But again, most of these softwares are paid softwares. They have to spend. But again, when you want to learn something, you spend. So why don't you just spend on this to learn? Anyway, when you join a company will give you license. Either the company will not allow you to use AI tool, or they will give you license. It's no midway. So you're not paying for anything. You just pay when you're learning. So let's say if you want to learn for 2 months, pay $20 per month for 2 months. That's $40. Less than 5,000 rupees or 4,000 rupees. And that's a good learning for you. So what you do is you use all this AI platform. Let's say we got Copilot, we got Cloud AI. It's a Cloud AI, that's how you pronounce it. Then we got Codium, which is now Qdo, Qodo. They have renamed it. We got Amazon. It was Code Whisperer. I think it is Amazon Q now. So explore these technologies because you don't know which AI tool the company will use when you join it. But even if you know one, basically everything is almost same. What's difficult there is you have to be very precise when you're writing the code. Example, let's say the way all this integration works is you open your editor, you type the code, some AI tool will give you suggestions. You have written this line, the next line would be this. It's same like what you type on your keyboard on mobile phone. It gives you suggestion. Next word can be this.
Right.
The same code suggestion you get in the editors. Also, they ask you for prompts. Example, when Copilot came with VS Code, and VS Code is one of the editor, you can simply type what you want. Let's say I'm a Java developer. I work mostly on the back end. I don't want to work on the front end, like React and all those stuff. But if I want a React application for my website, I can simply ask VS Code, hey, this is my backend. The backend is ready. These are the APIs. I want a React application for this. VS Code has given me the entire code, which a developer will take maybe 15-20 days in 10 seconds. So I have saved 15 days of development work. But it was not working. It took me 10 days to make it work. So that's a tricky part. All this AI tool will give you the code. You have to customize it. You have to modify it. Maybe I was wrong with the prompt, or maybe the version which I was using for VS Code was wrong. So those are small things which you have to get used to it. I read this somewhere. If you find something is difficult, do it often. So if you think AI tools are irritating, keep using it. You will get used to it.
I want to ask you, who are some of the content creators that you got inspired by or are still inspired by?
At the start, it was the New Boston. So it's a YouTube channel way back when no one was on YouTube. He was the only content creator for tech. And he used to use this amazing example of fish, tuna fish. In India, we were not knowing about tuna fish, at least in my college. We were like, what is tuna? So that's how we started learning from YouTube. Not entirely, but yeah, kind of motivation. At this point, it is Venkat Subramaniam. He's not a YouTuber, but he is an international speaker. So I love the way he captured the stage. Maybe one day I want to do the same thing.
Aside from your genre, who are some of the creators of India that you like to watch?
In terms of fun content creation, Tanmay Bhatt, Samay Raina, maybe you will hate. I mean, not hate. You will not say that in public, but yeah, who cares?
I think Samay has completely changed the idea of comedy in the country.
True.
And he's very much here to stay. And I think he's going to
Right.
just change the game totally.
True. But for tech reviews, of course, Marcus MKBHD. That's one. For laptops, there is a channel called Dev2D. He does amazing laptop reviews. So yeah, I don't spend much time on YouTube, but only for gadgets and stuff.
Very recently, Sora is now open for public on a paid partnership basis. You can generate 5 to 20-second videos of any prompts that you like. Is that something that excites you? Is that something that you want to use?
Two things. I'm scared. Maybe next time you will not call me for the podcast. You will use Sora to generate my image or my video. Next, I'm excited is because now I can add more details to my videos. At this point, what we are doing is if I want to talk a concept, let's say I want to teach a particular topic where a lot of things are behind the scene. Now for this, maybe I have to draw on board. Maybe the editor has to add those animations after in the post-production. What if, to speed up the process, I can teach the concept and all the scenes will be generated by Sora. That will make my work very, very fast, and plus it will give the audience a better learning experience. So I'm thinking in that sense, how can I speed up my process? How user will get benefits out of it? But yeah, on the other side, everyone is scared in the content creation world. Maybe people will not need it, our things, because a lot of reviews are there online. If I want to make a mobile review, if I want to watch a mobile review, I will pass that script to this Sora. It will give me the entire video and video is complete.
What is your take on the fact about AI hallucinating? There was a case where a user was asking questions or something from Gemini, and Gemini's answers were quite literally threatening answers.
Yeah.
What's your take on the fact about this hallucination angle?
It will take some time to get rid of. Of course, it's there. Even the founders are accepting, all the AI creators, they know it is happening. And algorithm will take some time to tweak it. The more data we pass, more it will be trained. And in future, it will be there, but it will go down. In terms of threat, everyone is scared about it. Even I'm scared about it because of the movies. All these movies, they have shown the same thing. They make robots and then robot kills humans.
Age of Ultron,
Yeah,
and
Age of
so many
Ultron,
like that.
Indian movie, Robot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so they have the same story. And this is where we need regulations. If you keep it open, any company can do that. If you have more powerful AI, if you just need a robot, a physical robot, and they can do it. Soon, every government, as a world, we need to come together and build some regulations. What you can do and where should you stop? What is that borderline where you have to be into regulations? And where to do that? Then things will get streamlined. Also, if you want to make AI as a general thing, you have to do that. Otherwise, it will again be, people will be skeptical about it. The same thing is happening with blockchain now. Most of the countries are adopting blockchain, bitcoins, but again, there's no regulation. You can't be sure it will work.
You are a creator for so many years now. Have you ever thought about using a platform like HeyGen so that you don't have to come in front of the camera and just get it generated?
We tried. Only one thing stopping us: money. So the problem is creating one video will cost you a lot. It makes sense if that one video is getting million views. But the content like ours, it's very niche. Only specific people want to learn this technology and they don't want to learn now. So if I make a video on Python, let's say AI, how to build this model now, I will get, let's say, 5,000 views, 10,000 views now in 1 week. But in 1 year, I will get million views. So it's an investment for me. If I make a video, I will get million views in a year. Do I have that capacity? So which is easier for me is I'm free, I'm sitting free, let me make a video. But in case, if I know if I can make a content which will be watched by millions, if I'm getting a contract from a company, Hagen works. It's just that at this point, I'm more cheaper than Hagen. In future, if Hagen is cheaper than me, then I will use that.
First of all, a small little advice for content creators out there, no matter what their niche is. But then I want to ask you, how is income from YouTube like? Can a person survive just on the basis of that?
So let's start with the tips for content creation. The most important thing is consistency. What I've seen from most of the creators is they're not consistent. They're like, they got the energies from somewhere. Maybe, when I talk to my friends, when I go to corporate, they're amazing corporate trainers. They're like, they own the stage, but they don't teach on YouTube. So when I talk to them, they're like, hey, why don't you come on YouTube? You teach very well. They're like, okay, I should. So let me finish this training. I will go home. I will buy the setup. A lot of people bought the setup. And then they make few videos, 5 videos, 10 videos. They upload on YouTube. No response. They leave it. Why to waste so much of energy? YouTube content creation is like this. You make the video, nothing is happening, and there will be a shooting point. People don't wait for that point. They're like, they end it here. Only few survive that point and then they become a YouTuber. So that consistency is very important. If you're busy somewhere, don't make 1 video per day. Make 1 video per week, but be consistent with that video. If you're saying that you will upload 1 video, do it. So that's a tip, be consistent. Next tip is don't try to be perfect. A lot of people try to be perfect in front of a camera, in front of a mic. They want a good gadgets. You don't need them. I remember when I uploaded my first video, it was using the mobile phone camera and mobile phone mic. I used to use those wire cordless mic on the fan, which comes down on my level.
Oh,
and it will
wow.
record the audio. So it used to stay here. It used to end here from the fan. And I used to speak loud. I'm a trainer, classroom trainer, so I used to speak loud. That's how I started. And then I realized it's not the quality of the video because of which people watch your video. If that's the case, why people will watch Gang of Wasaipur and not Karan Johar movies? Right? They have much better quality, but people want content which you get in good movies. So don't focus on the quality of the video or quality of the audio. Focus on the content. Quality of the audio is important, not the video. Otherwise, people will simply skip it. Especially in the learning content, audio is very important.
Very important. Okay,
So
now
don't try to be perfect.
let's talk about income from YouTube.
It's not good. It's not good. Especially if you are Hindi content creator or regional content creator, the ad revenue is very less. It's because in India, CPM is very less. CPM is basically cost per million or the cost per 1,000. So if your audience is from the Asia Pacific, let's say China, we don't get views from China, but yeah, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, the CPM is very low. So if you want to survive on that, it's very difficult. The only way to survive is high views. If you make a content about high views, then you can survive. Teaching content, if you're only getting 10,000 views per video, it's not enough. So don't start YouTube for money. If you do that, you will lose it. You will lose the motivation, you will lose your time. Because suddenly you're not getting views, you're not getting money, you will stop it. If you start YouTube for content creation, which is fun, when you watch your own creation in front of you, like this is going live on YouTube, even if 10 people watches, there are real people watching your video. 10 people spending time for your video, you're worth it. So don't go for the million views, don't go for the money, start for the fun. Yeah, if you're making money, that's good, then you can leave your job. But if you want to make money, English works is because when you make English content, your video will be watched by other countries. And US, Australia, they have the highest CPM. Target those audience. So maybe make content for their what is happening there for money.
When you're making content and say a tutorial video, what is the difference between that and when you're training a classroom full of students?
It's a bit different. First of all, in a classroom, when I go there, they know I'll be there for 7 hours. I'll be on stage for 7 hours. They have to listen to me for 7 hours. And they know if I come on stage, if I take a sip of water, if I roam around for 5-10 seconds, they're okay with it.
Yep.
On YouTube, it's not the case. You have to attract them in first 1 minute. Otherwise, they will skip the video. They get suggestion on the right-hand side. Oh, this thumbnail looks better than this person. So they will click there. So you have to get that attention quickly. On the other side, in a training classroom, you can take your flow. You can start here and suddenly you can jump, and take it to a different world. Before the lunch break, you drop it down. Post lunch break, again, you start slow and take them up. And that's what I see different on YouTube. You have to keep them hooked. And that's why we say, right, the most important part will be coming at the end. So make sure you watch till the end. So that grabbing attention is very important because YouTube algorithm works with the watch time. You have to increase that watch time. And that's tricky. So you have to change the way you teach. You have to change the way you talk in front of a camera. So that's a difference. I love Classroom more than YouTube.
What has been some of the feedback from your audience that has had the most significant impact on you?
There are two. One, when I uploaded my first video on YouTube, I mean, not the first, but after the break, when I uploaded the first video, it's still on YouTube. My friend was holding a camera. I was writing something on the board. It was just a fun video. It was not planned that I will upload on a new channel. And then we recorded the video and everything happened. One of my friend, she was my student, but then later on we belong to the same friend circle. And she mentioned that you should teach fast. We don't have that much of time to watch the entire video because your videos will be watched 1 hour before the exam. So teach fast. And then I started teaching fast. And suddenly I started speaking fast. So that's one thing which I've changed from the audience. Next comment which I got is from one of my subscriber from Romania. And so what happened is, initially I was following corporate syllabus and college syllabus. So that one comment mentioned that I want to learn this topic. That topic was nowhere in the corporate, nowhere in the college. And then I realized, don't stick to one syllabus. Stick to the software development and what they need. And that's how I've changed the way I teach technologies. I choose topics.
What's your creative process when you're designing a new tutorial?
Interesting. So initially I was making my own content first. I used to write content. I don't follow script. I write the points. This is what I talk about. These are the examples. I make a video. It was going good for me. I was not having what process I follow. But what happened is, recently we got some content creators. They will create the content for me and I will make the video. Every time I was seeing those content, I was like, I can't make videos on this. Even I tried to record the video, I was not able to follow the content. Then I realized when I make my own content, I have a process in mind, which was not there earlier. I was not knowing about it. The process is very simple. If someone is here and they want to reach here, I just have to make a video to fill that gap, right? So I just have to understand where they are. If you don't understand your audience level, you can't teach them. Then I go from there, okay, so they are here. If I'm here, if I want to reach here, these are the topics I have to cover. The content creators, they make their mistakes. They only focus on the target. They don't focus on the entire flow. And then I realize I have to complete this flow. So now I'm teaching my content creators, this is my mind. If I want something, I want in this format. So that's a flow. Make it easy, go step by step, and again, start slow and take them high and drop it.
What are the trends that you think will literally define tech education in the next 5 years?
This is what I talked about before, self-learning. So there's something where you learn from a trainer, then you implement. In fact, most of them we don't even implement. We simply learn. There's a tutorial hell on YouTube. Right? You get stuck in a hell. If you want to learn something, you keep watching the video, and then still you're not sure if you know the concept. The best way to know if you know a thing, build it. And then you know that you will know it. Otherwise, start building it and learn in that process. I think AI is surely going to change the game there. How do you learn things? And especially with the AI tools integrated in the IDE, you can learn any technology while doing it. So that's a trend I can see.
What is the plan that you have with Telusko in the coming years?
Since AI is not sure, even we don't have a proper plan. I mean, we never have a plan. We just say, okay, are we able to cater the audience? What they want to learn, are we able to deliver it? Is there a gap? Okay, let's fill that gap. But the general thing is make sure that if someone wants to learn a technology, if we know the technology, they should be able to learn it. And of course, I'm not Rajnikant to teach everything in the world, but trying max to teach all.
What skills do you think will be absolutely incredibly important for programmers in the coming years?
Prompt engineering. Yeah, so how to talk to AI will be very important. And again, still remain the same. Foundation is very important. If you know the foundation and if you know how to use AI tool, you'll be good with it.
All right. Naveen, we are almost towards the end of the podcast. Cannot let you go before a short little rapid fire.
Sure.
So the questions are going to be rapid. The answer
Okay.
has to be even more rapid.
Okay.
All right, let's start. Your favorite programming language and why?
My audience will be upset with it, but it's Java, not Python. A lot of people know me for Python, but it's Java. Reason, it's the industry-wide language.
IDE of your choice. Visual Studio Code, IntelliJ IDEA, or something else?
For JavaScript, VS Code, but for Java, since I'm a Java developer, IntelliJ.
Light mode or dark mode for coding?
For coding, it's dark mode. For videos, it's light mode. Because in videos, light mode looks good, but people don't like it. So I get the comments as well. Switch to dark mode.
Your favorite thing about training in the classroom?
Their reactions. Normally I create suspense. And then the moment that suspense is revealed, they're like, wow. So that is I'm waiting for. I get that on YouTube as well, but in the comments after a few days. And I don't have patience.
Absolutely. Wow was definitely our reaction as well. Naveen, thank you so much for giving us your time. Thank you so much for talking to us. It was an absolute pleasure. How was the podcast for you?
Yeah, it was amazing. Thanks for the opportunity to go back to my childhood and think about it. In the break time as well, I was thinking about my childhood. What was there? Did I miss something to talk about? So it was fun. Long journey. All these things we have discussed and interesting questions. So a lot of things came out of my sixth sense as well. So thank you so much for inviting.
Glad to hear that. Glad to have you here. And we are very, very sure that so much insights that we got from you are going to be very helpful, especially for the developer community, for the budding entrepreneurs as well, for the budding content creators as well.
Hopefully. And make sure that you like, share, and subscribe both the channels.
Absolutely, both the channels. You please tell us your channel's name also, which they know Telusko, but
Yeah.
you also know.
So in case if you don't know, there's a channel, amazing channel called Telusko on YouTube. Check it out and make sure that you subscribe. And every time you watch a video, if you don't want to watch a video, that's fine. Click that like button.
Definitely, guys, do that. And of course, subscribe to The Hot Seat by AIM Media House for more such podcasts just like this. If you like this one, don't forget to share it with your friends and family, and especially friends who are fellow developers. Do write in the comments, how did you like this one? And I will see you all in the next podcast. This is me, Korak Roy, signing off.